Namaste, this is Rishikesh Writings and we are with Dalmet. Dalmet is astrologer. She's been living in Rishikesh and she's do the astrology prediction and she's from South America, Chile. Let's know about her journey in Rishikesh and how the astrology connect and how the Ganga connect with her, how she think about this city, a place in Himalaya, Rishikesh. Namaste, Dalmet.
Namaste, Ji. How are you?
Good. Yeah. So, Dalmet, how the Ganga connect with you and what is India for you?
Wow, this is a huge question. I mean, because how can I describe India? For me, is everything. It's like a home. It's a place what I can. When I come for first time to India, I fall in love, and then I couldn't detach of India. For me, first of all, India is a place what I feel very much connected. That's why I decide to come and live here in India. And then Rishikesh especially is a place what I feel much more like I can find spirituality. And the Ganga is a portal, a blessing, a place what is take you, come back again and again and again and again without, without wanted sometimes, So for me it's a big blessing to live in Rishikesh at the moment. Yes.
And who's your first teacher with whom you start learning the astrology and how do you see the Indian astrology and Western astrology? You are in your astrology you do a both mixture.
Yes.
So what is your thought and how you see this astrology?
I mean, I start to learn astrology like 15 years ago, but I start from Western. I still feel much more comfortable with Western astrology, but when I came to India for first time, I meet Pratik Mishapuri, who is, I take classes with him and is also my guru. And then, of course, there are totally different systems, but you can combine two and then creating something very much interesting for the people who make the consultation, because Vedic astrology is talking so much about the soul, the journey of the soul, the journey of how the karmic life is connected. So it's giving to you a big panorama about then why you are here, what is the purpose of the life, and then it's giving to you so much aspect about that. So it's totally different system. Vedic astrology is much more connected with psychology as well, much more connected with soul, journey, spirituality. So they are so much different. So that's why when I came to India, I started to learn about Vedic, because I feel I can understand much more deeper connection about people and understand why they are here, what they are coming to the consultation through the Vedic astrology.
And what are the similarity you found in Chile and India?
Not much similarity, but we are Latin people in general. We are much more like we care about the family and etc. But the Indian people is much more related with the family, like the much more important stuff in the life of the Indian people. Like in the families, everything happens. Like people, they don't have that perception of selfishness like we have. Indian people is thinking first in the family and then thinking in themselves. So it's quite different, but at the same time, all the humans they're at the same they're passing for the same stuff, They have same kind of the problems, but Latin people is much more similar. The Indian people is, in my perspective, we are little similar in many aspects regarding to the family stuff. We care a lot of that.
When we see about the astrology in India, we have Vedic astrology is very famous. And what about the Western astrology? Which part of that is famous in the West?
I don't understand what you're trying to compare, but the Vedic astrology, is famous here. We have a Western. We can. I mean, there are two different methods, but the astrology is one itself, you know, like no matter it's Western or Vedic, we are using for the same purpose. And finally the people is trying to predict the future, but we're trying to use the astrology to understand the self. I mean, why is the purpose to come here in the earth and why we are coming here. So for me, it's much more understanding of the spiritual purpose, much more than giving prediction to the people. Because many people come and they say, okay, when I gonna marry, when I gonna be rich. They want to know this kind of stuff when for me they are not interesting to reply this kind of things, but much more of the people who come to Rishikesh, they are looking for some spiritual guidance, much more than you predict some kind of the future of them. So we have a spiritual target here in Rishikesh because all the people is looking for spirituality, much more than some kind of prediction. They want guidance much more. So that is good because I'm psychologist. So for me it's much more easy to guide the people in a way they can take their own decision, but according to the astrology I can show them what they have it, what the kind of mental tendencies they have to, and how they can organize better the life where they have it.
When you first time came in Rishikesh and now you're living in Rishikesh, how do you find the difference? And what is your thought about this changes?
Yeah, I miss my old Rishikesh, you know, when I came for first time it was like 40-50 years ago, and then it was totally peaceful place, not so much foreigner, not so much Indian, it was very smallest, and then it was so much spiritual place because everyone was coming here with the real purpose of found spirituality. Now these days so much commercial, people is doing yoga, teacher training, like some kind of business of spirituality. And then the people, I feel the local people and people who come to India, they're trying to find some spirituality, but they lose the focus here in Rishikesh because now everything is commercial, you know, it's not that place. So I miss a lot that kind of Rishikesh, when you have a peace. Now it's so crowded, many people everywhere, so a lot of stuff.
So how do you see this, and what is your suggestion to the Rishikesh people for this, how they can save this spirituality?
I mean, suggestion in what term?
A suggestion in like protecting and caring about that space, which is going to losing.
Yeah, because also is many Indian came to Rishikesh for party. They came for the weekends and then they are doing party. They drink alcohol in a place what they are supposedly be holy, you know. So I really believe as a foreigner we can do something to stop this kind of stuff because they are that much a place what we really love. I mean, we came here for spiritual stuff, and then on the next door you have a party, people is drinking alcohol, so they are misbehaved. So I feel they are that much the energy of the place. So of course I really suggest to the people if we can find some way to or instance to we can use our voices to stop this kind of stuff and then remind this place as a holy what they are being in the beginning. In the beginning, Rishikesh was super spiritual. Everything is not allowed, but now Indian people come in and then they make a lot of mess.
And when you first told about your citizen, Chilean citizen or South American people, like about the India, and what are their curious question to you, like, and how do you say like why they should come to India and Rishikesh?
You means what? Like what the people ask me when I came for first time? I mean, I'm not the first foreigner to come for looking for the spirituality or learn about Vedas. I came for learn Ayurveda, yoga, all this kind of stuff. So when the people, of course, in the beginning, it's not so much foreigners here, so they was very curious about why you are here so far. Chile is not in the next, it's not in Europe, it's so much far. So yeah, I came to for first time to learn much more about Vedas, because I was feeling a feeling and real perception about that knowledge is very much spiritual and very much deeply connected with the everything. So much more of the people asking that kind of question, but when you tell them you come to learn about that, then they could understand the situation.
And how do you see the astrology, the modern astrology?
In the comparison of what?
In comparison of the traditional method?
I mean, the Indians still use the traditional method, but if you see, they are not so much traditional, because the Vedic astrology is mixed with Babylonic astrology and Hellenistic. That's why you have the square.
Yeah.
And then before than that, the Vedic astrology is basic only in nakshatras. So you don't have that system what you have now. So
what is your thought about the modern astrology and traditional astrology?
as I already explained to you, the modern astrology, we cannot say about modern, because both of astrology, the Western astrology is much more in the Hellenistic stuff, so it's not much modern. And the Vedic one is also receiving some influences about the Hellenistic, because before the Vedic astrology was based in nakshatra, and the Vedic astrology was not using the kundali, what you have it now. This is a mix of Babylonian astrology and another stuff, so you don't have, the Vedic is not pure also. So the difference now, what I see is people is much more near to the astrology than before, and it's not what like occult science, or people feel like this is not something what, how can I say, like people don't believe. Now people is much more closest to the astrology, so every day people know about the Mercury retrograde and all this kind of stuff. They understand about the eclipse energy. Everyone is much more, because of the media as well. So that's why I like much more about what is going on with astrology now these days, more related with psychology, and the people use every day in their own life. Before, when you say you are an astrologer, people look at you like you are like a witch or something like that, and then they are misunderstanding your job. But now when you say people you are an astrologer, they'll say, oh, they understand better. So much more of the modern and old astrology, I really feel the people is having a new perception about the same ancient methods, but we cannot say that astrology is something very old, because it's not like that.
And what are the most common questions when the visitor or visit you for the astrology in a Western way, and if Indian, how do you find it? Like, what are the most important questions to you?
Here in Rishikesh specifically, because it's different than people who live in Delhi. The Western people who I see here astrology, they are asking much more about the spiritual path, spiritual stuff. They look much more for guidance than like a predictions. Indian people is asking for like a question much more like prediction, when they gonna marry, when they gonna be rich, how is gonna happen this business. So they want much more like a question related with the predictions, much more the spiritual life, or where I should do with my life, what the Western people is asking a lot. Yeah.
And how do you find this? Like, you take as a challenge, or you take as a kind of, okay, your job is to guide them?
Yeah, I think our job is not giving any judgment, judgment what the customer wanted. But I feel I should like Indian people is be much more connected also with the spirituality, and then trying to find much more inside than outside, because they are much more in the material stuff, the material world, than going too much in connected inside to themselves. They are I wish one day some people ask this kind of question, you know, about the spirit,
And what is your challenging prediction?
about
Astrology.
challenging predictions. When the people ask me when they're gonna be parents or if they can guide them to when they're gonna have a baby, so these kind of things. So these kind of predictions, they're very challenging to me because you are touching something very delicate to the people, what they are related with the heart stuff, and then also you try to give them like guidance, but also to help them and give them hope. Because also it's happened, many people is coming to the consultation, they already passed for many Indian astrologers, they are giving a very bad news, like you're gonna die, this bad thing's gonna happen, and then this is not my style. I'll never give bad prediction to the people in that way. I'm trying to tell, be careful, warning sometimes, but not be, because for me it's a karma doing this kind of things, you know, like giving bad things to the people or tell them bad things is gonna happen. You put a program in the mind of the people, and then the people started to thinking, and probably this is gonna happen because you put that chip in the mind of the people, right? Not good.
Yeah, we see you're living in Rishikesh. You see many yoga teacher training institute are here, and some people are giving yoga teacher training in very less price, some higher prices.
Yeah.
How difficult is for the Western student to choose a right school? Because you are also learn a yoga in Rishikesh, and what is your suggestion? How they can choose it?
I've been working, bringing people before to India from different Latin countries to learn about yoga and take courses about Ayurveda. But in the COVID time I stopped. And now this day I see the people have a lot of problem to find a good school because the quality of the yoga is down, the price is going down. So I think for me, Rishikesh is losing the sense of found a good, really good teacher training here in Rishikesh. It's so much complicated. It's not easy to find because people much more going to the website and trying to check if it's that good a school or not. But it's different. They came here and then they expecting something different and they don't get it. So I feel I get so much comment of the people. They get so much disappointment about that. But how to find a good school, I suggest to the people to come first to Rishikesh for 1 or 2 weeks, search here, not in the websites, and then decide. That is a good thing because you can be here and see by yourself how it's going on.
Is food create importance in the yoga teacher
course,
training or a knowledge which is given by the
both
teachers?
I think both, because of course you are inside to a place, what you are eating there, and sometimes the quality of the food is not good. I saw many people who have a group of the people who have that severe diarrhea and a lot of vomiting inside to the teacher training of one very famous yoga school, and of course people cannot continue the course because they've been sick. Of course food is important, but knowledge is important, but I feel the knowledge is standard because it's regarding to the basis of the knowledge is regarding to Yoga Alliance. So every one school they're gonna have it similar stuff according to the teaching, but it's different when you have a good teacher, not a teacher who have a 20 years old and then they don't know so much. So it's better to you go in a school to the people who have a lot of training, or maybe they have some another titles like a doctor or something like that. It's fundamental to found a yoga school to the people who teaching to you getting experience, right?
And Rishikesh is famous for the Ganga Ma. And is there any miracle happen in your life related to Ganga, which change your see seeing a perception toward the life.
I mean, not a miracle,
Yeah.
but anytime when I don't have a good energy and then I don't feel like a comfortable moment, very down, I
Yeah.
just jump in the Ganga and I feel this is the best therapy. You can do it yourself. You don't need Reiki, you don't need someone clean your aura, nothing like that. You just go in and have your Ishnan in the Ganga and all your problems go quickly. Miracle. I mean, could be say it's kind of miracle, but you feel the blessing. That's why for me living here is so much important, because it's kind of it's very special place. It's a portal place. No matter what happened with the yoga school and all this stuff, you still having the blessing of the Ganga. In some way, you always can like go in there and get in that blessing, and it's free. We don't need to pay for that.
You have a plan to establish astrology school in Rishikesh. So, like how this ideas comes in your
Mind.
Yeah, about this. And what will be the special going to happen within this school?
We're gonna teaching from the heart, first of all, because we love astrology, and the team of the people who is there also, they feel astrology is a sacred knowledge. It's not doing for the business. So we're planning to do it in a way how the people can very good connection of astrology, and then understanding that it's something what you need to take for a compromise for your life. It's not something what you're gonna have in a course and then in 1 week or 2 weeks you're gonna be astrologer. This is not like that. You've been all your life learning, but we're gonna give the basement to the people to start that, and the spirit, because it's not, I mean, many people is learning astrology, but not all the people have the character to guidance to another person, you know, and give a good like guidance. So this is what is missing here.
So your school will be the school which guide the student.
Yeah, of course, we're gonna guide the students to give a good to create a good astrologers. We can at the same time give a good advice to the people.
So Dalmeet, how the India adopt you and you accept the Mother India invitation?
First of all, I came here for first time to India in a yoga group. So then I fell in love of India. In the beginning, it was not easy for me to understand the culture of many mental setting what the Indian people have it. I was not understanding.
Yeah. So which mental setting you don't understand about
many
India?
About why they have arranged marriage,
Okay.
and then why the people thinking so much about the society, and then why they care about what the people think about them. It's just for me super strange to why they are caring so much basic and nonsense things, you know. So, but slowly I feel I'm not adapt to India. I feel the Indian people, they are adapted, and now they have much Western mentality. I don't know if in some way the cultural differences is much more less than before, like 10, 12, 15 years ago. Now it's not much complicated to relate it or relationship with Indian people, because they are not seen as a ET. Before they see like this people is from another planet, not another country, another planet. So it was not easy because the Indian culture was so much closed before. Now it's much more open, and Indians, they are much more Western mentality. They are little more open. The new generation, they are changing so much. So it's much more easy to live in India than before, than few years ago, 10 years ago, something like that. So I feel at home, because it's not easy before, but now I understand every day much more the culture, but also it's much more less difference in between foreigners and Indians. Yeah.
At the end, what is your wish in life?
Wow. I feel I be connected. Don't lose the connection. Yeah. This is what I really wish for myself. Like always getting much and more connection with my spirit and the spirit of another people, and helping to guidance in the best way I can do it.
Namaste.
Namaste, Ji. Thank you.
So this is the Dalma from Rishikesh.
Dalmeet.
Dalmeet. Namaste.
Bye. Thank you.